All right, everyone. I am Cornelius Adeoyin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, and as I will say, I'm Cornelius Adeoyin, and I'm on a journey of empowering the world through faith, tech leadership, and entrepreneurship. And thank you for joining in today's episode of Cornelius on Tech. And today I'm going to be considering a very important thought, right? And that's the power of community. And the reason why we're doing that is to know why your greatest competitive advantage in tech in your journey, right, becoming an expert may not necessarily be what you know, but may not necessarily be what you know, but the people and who you learn with, right? There is a myth of saying, "Oh, I'm a self-made techie, I'm a self-made person." One of the most, celebrated idea in this world in our age is the idea of self-made individuals. We admire their stories of people who, figured it out on their own. They are lone rangers, they are solo founders, they are independent and they created something, right? We celebrate people who are engineers and built from scratch. And their stories are always really inspiring, but they are also incomplete. Behind every exceptional technology ecosystem, right, is an ecosystem of people, right? Ecosystem of ideas, ecosystem of conversations that have been had, feedback here and there. It's twisted into mentorship, collaboration, and shared learning, right? That accelerated their growth. They might not tell us everything, but there have been some times that you interacted with people, you collaborated with people, because when you want to journey in tech, it's not designed to be an individual sport. It has always been designed to be a collaborative discipline: front end, back end engineer, a designer, a database engineer, or a data engineer, data analyst, data scientist, open source. That's why the open source softwares exist, because communities, people can come and contribute their ideas to make it a better place, right? If you look at programming language, they evolve because people made contribution, because of communities that is surrounding those languages, and people are able to contribute. If you look at frameworks, Next.js, which other one, React, and all of those stuff, right? They improve because communities of people who are using them identify a problem with those tasks, and they are proposing they are proposing a solution here and there. So innovation really happens when knowledge flow between people. You are able to interact with people, they are able to interact with you. But this is the thing: many people enter technology believing success should be about learning more, but in reality, right, in tech, long-term success is often about you connecting with people, right? They say this, that your network determines your network. The strongest professional, the strongest person in the room is really an isolated learner, because they are active contributors to communities that continually stretch their thinking, right? That they are stretching their thinking about what is possible, how can we make it better. Many people, when we talk about community, many people misunderstand the purpose of community, and they see community as a place to just ask questions when you are stuck, when you don't know where you're going, or a place to look for jobs, a place to promote yourself, your self brand. This benefit exists where you can be in a community and you're looking for a job, you are promoting your self brand and all of those stuffs, right? But they are secondary things that matters in a community. Of a community the true value of a community is that it accelerates your learning through shared experiences with people, because no individual can encounter solve every problem. You cannot solve every problem, you cannot explore every cases, right? There's no entrepreneur that can test every model. it is in community that we can compress experience. You do this, I do this, you do this, and when we have a problem, a central problem, we can bring all of our experiences together and provide a solution. So instead of learning from your own success and your failures, you gain access to the observation of another person, to the mistakes of another person, to the experiment, to the insights that of hundreds and thousands of people, and that can dramatically, in ways that you cannot imagine, shorten your learning curve. And this is why two people with similar technical ability can experience completely different career movement, career journey, because one person can learn in isolation, the other person is learning within an ecosystem, and over time the gap is always obvious between the person that is learning alone and the person that is building within an ecosystem. All right. If you study through the history of technology, one pattern has always and consistently appears. The breakthrough that happens, they really emerge in isolation. They really emerge by a solo person. They emerge when people bring ideas together. The Silicon Valley that we are seeing today became influential not simply because brilliant people are living there. It became influential because brilliant people interacted with each other. The ideas were moving quickly. They were able to deploy their talents. They were able to discuss problem and find solution. And it's still the same pattern that is existing, right? We have open source community. We have technical co-founders. Now we're having co-founders. We have research group, we have hackathons solving just one major problem, maybe in energy. We have different kind of stuff. So your environment shapes your trajectory. If you consistently participate in communities where they prioritize excellence, they prioritize your growth, right, your standard is will rise inevitably. And that's what you must understand, right? And there are ways by which communities foster your growth. There are ways by which communities accelerate your growth, right? Community is not just about you belonging or being on a group. It is designed to create advantages for you. And the first advantage that community is supposed to give to you is accelerated learning. Is for you to be in a place of accelerated learning. You learn faster because you gain access to perspective from different people. Oh, you encounter this problem, different people give you perspective, and you're able to learn faster. You're able to put things together and get a meaningful solution to a problem that you are solving. So the questions that might take you days to answer alone, if you put it on a community, you just resolve it in minutes because of meaningful conversations from everybody. And the other thing about being in a community and the advantage is that accountability. When you are isolated and when you are doing things alone, it often allow your inconsistency to survive. But when you are in a community, it exposes you to people, other people that are building like you are building. It exposes you to improving consistently because you are seeing people on the same group exposing themselves to improvement every day. So their momentum, the rate at which they are working, the rate at which they are delivering with excellence is also rubbing off on you. And another thing or another advantage of being in a community, being part of a community, is opportunity. Many people believe that your career are built primarily through applications you are applying here, but in reality, many opportunities emerge through referral, through relationship. People recommend you. You collaborate with people through referrals, just like I said. In partnership, you do project with another person. You see, community will create visibility before your resume do, right? Before your resume place you in a better position. If you belong to a community and you've seen what you were able to accomplish with your community, being active, it will always give you an edge. And the fourth thing that community advantage is that it shapes your perspective. One conversation in a community can completely reshape how you approach problem. can completely reshape it. One feedback that you have, maybe a problem that you're trying to solve, can save you months, weeks of unnecessary effort, right? If you are able to collaborate, it will bring you to a place and expose you to ways of thinking that can take you years before you accomplish. So community is a very integral part of your learning curve and becoming the best that you can be in this space, right? And there's difference, you must understand it. There's difference between you joining a community and belonging to a community. There's this is, you must be able to make this distinction. The fact that you are a member of a community does not mean you are participating. Joining Slack workspace, joining Telegram, joining WhatsApp group does not mean you are part of the community. You are following people online does not mean you are learning from them, right? You are watching conversation, watching podcasts is not the same as contributing. Real community requires engagement, that you are asking thoughtful questions, you are sharing insightful, useful insight, right? You are sharing and people are sharing, you are helping others, and every one of you in the community are solving problems together. You are celebrating the success of others, you are providing constructive feedback so that others also in that community and yourself can improve, right? Communities, are valuable when all of us, when people move from being consumers to contributors, when you move from a place of just being somebody who is just consuming tutorials, who is just doing things alone, to where you are able to contribute the little quota that you have. So the professional, the techie brother, the tech sis, who gain most from experience are people who are able to give most to them. So you must be able to give. I know you will say that you don't have anything, you don't know much, but that which you have, you can also give, right? One of the most strategic decisions you can make in your tech journey, right, is deciding to surround yourself with growth. Not every community can create, or not every community will create equally. Not every community will contribute to your growth equally, right? Choose communities that challenge you. So when you want to choose community that challenge you rather than simply validating your nonsense, right? Seek environment that push you for more, that ask you, difficult questions. Be in an environment where quality matters and learning never stops in that kind of environment. So for you to become better, you are not going to be in a place where they are just adapting your mediocrity, right? Be in a place where they are challenging you to be more, right? And by that challenge, you're able to gain more, you're able to become a better person, right? And there are ways, if you start, join a community, there are ways to become a valuable member of that community, right? Many of us, we enter communities or groups or whatever and saying, okay, what can I gain, right? The better question will have been, what value can I contribute, what value can I give, and what value is this place going to be to me, right? Value does not necessarily mean that you are expert in that stack or whatever. It may mean that you are documenting what you're learning, right? It may mean that you are answering questions. It may mean that you are sharing useful resources. It may mean that you are giving thoughtful feedback and you're doing, you're organizing sessions within those community, right? Over time, your reputation and activeness in that community becomes your asset. There are seasons where deep personal and individual work is necessary, but for the long term, right, isolation will cost you a lot than you can think. Your thinking will become limited to your own experiences alone. You miss industry trends. You have blind spots that you cannot see, right? Because technology evolves in every conversation. You see new things in every conversation, right? And this is why being in a community will accelerate your growth, right? If you want to build a community, it is not merely saying who can help me, right? It is who can I grow with. It is not saying, okay, who can I sell this to? No, it is who are the people that I can grow, instead of chasing you transaction based relationships with people. You network to grow together. You network, you meet people to grow together, because it's built on trust, right? It's a shared growth, is a long term thing. All of you are gaining to become a better person and have a competitive advantage. So evaluate your current ecosystem, evaluate the communities, the group that you belong to. What are the things that they are doing in that group that is contributing to you, and is the group or this community a place you are fitting in, right? If it's a place, if you audit and you see that, okay, this is a place I need to be, then become an active contributor. Share your knowledge, share what you learned in the webinars, ask questions, right? Provide feedback. Oh, the webinar was great, thank you. Provide feedback, help someone, help people in that community. They ask a question, help them solve the problem, right? Be known in that community by adding value, right? There are many people on the group, and this is the third thing. There are many people on the group. Reach out to someone who work, who work in the same field that you work, and you respect the person. Then start a genuine conversation. Not just ask for money, not ask for job, not ask for favor. To learn, to connect with them and build relationship with them over time, right? Because if you have relationship with them over time, job will come over time, favors will come over time, money will come, right? Technology is one of the, and this is where I will end, right? We must understand that technology is one of the collaborative industries in the world. You cannot build the future alone, right? Your code cannot be written individually, but your code, you can write your code individually, you can write your code, the way you want, but your growth will almost always be accelerated within community. Your impact will almost be high when you are within a community, because the strongest person, the strongest tech person who is making impact is not people who are really skilled. They are builders of ecosystem. They are builders of ecosystem, and ecosystem, that outlive them, ecosystem that is not tied to them, that everybody can come joyous and put their best into the work, that the other person becomes a better person. All right. And this is the power of a community. If you don't belong to one yet, you can find one, and you can join us in Neon community. And I hope this really is helpful, that you cannot really do what will change the world, what will make a lasting impact, by being a lone ranger. So find a community that is fitting to your vision and your dream and your ambition. Until the next time, I am Cornelius Adeoyin, and I'm on a journey of empowering the world through faith, tech, leadership, and entrepreneurship. So this is not just learning, this is not just another podcast, this is becoming, right? And there's one end to this journey. It is greatness. And I will see you in the next one.